All right, welcome out here to Memorial Park here out in Plover. The site of today's conference game here between the Penguins of Tri-County and the Cardinals here of Stevens Point, Pacelli. Coaches collaboration here out at home plate with the two umpires here, our Zaleski Sports pregame show, which is brought to you in part by Auto Select, which is Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. They have complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in West. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you are good to go. So both teams coming in here on the heels of a victory. The Cardinals come in here with an overall record of 7-2. They are 2-1 in the CW South Conference is Pacelli. They were last in action a couple nights ago over in Rosholt at Jack Brooks Field, a 12-2 victory over there, conference victory for the Cardinals. Cardinals will be back in action after today on Saturday. Back out at Buchholz Park, a doubleheader with the Falcons of Amherst coming into town here on Saturday. That first pitch will be at about noon on Saturday. We'll have both of those games as well on Zaleski Sports. I'll be on the call for both of those. Looking forward to it. Certainly looking forward to this afternoon's game as well here. Again, a conference game. Pretty nice day here. Mid-60s or so out at Memorial Park here. Braden Sutter on our production crew. Brandon Baroncott bringing you the call here this afternoon. Tri-County, on the other hand, they are 2-6 overall and 2-2 in the CW South Conference. Their last game was last Thursday, if I'm looking at it correct here, a 6-0 win over Wild Rose. They'll be back in action on Monday where they'll be hosting the Eagles of Ullman Bancroft. Tri-County head coach by Jay Wildner. Pacelli head coach by longtime head coach Wayne Sankey, assisted by Sam Grivach, Jeff Saddlemeyer, John Raflick, and Joe Weinberg. Again, our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show. They are Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. They have complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you are good to go. So hard to believe we are already in the later stretch here of April. Seems like we just started things and we're already really almost 4 weeks into this baseball season here. A lot of games in front of both teams. We'll get our starting lineups here.
Penguins leading it off. Number 13, the first baseman, Gage Beggs.
Gage Beggs will lead it off for the Penguins here, hitting first at first base.
Seth Hildebrandt.
Seth Hildebrandt will hit second and pitch here tonight.
Second base, number 4, R.J.
Number 4, R. J. Meadow will hit third and play second.
Number 7, Jake McCarrick.
Jake McCarrick will play shortstop and hit fourth.
Number 3, Connor Thurley.
Connor Thurley hits fifth tonight in left field, number 3.
Number 11, Aiden Brewer.
Number 11, Aiden Brewer hitting sixth at third base.
Number 2, Sam Boyd.
Sam Boyd will hit seventh out in right field, number 2.
Number 15,
Chase Schwartzman, number 15, hitting eighth in center.
Number 18, Brendan Brewer.
And Brendan Brewer hits ninth, doing the designated hitting. And Dom Friebel will do the catching here tonight, number 5. And head coach by Jay Wildner here. So that's the Penguins of Tri-County. We'll get our Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals lineup here today.
At shortstop, number 1, Melise Badoon.
Melise Badoon to lead things off out at shortstop, number 1. Number 7, Jaden Garski hitting second out in center field today. Number 3 hitting third is Lucas Hammerly playing second base.
The DH today, number 10, Tomas Umera.
Tomas Uemura hits fourth, doing the designated hitting today.
Pitcher, number 2, Eric Reinke.
Eric Reinke pitching here today, number 2, the sophomore.
Number 12, Sully Schober.
Hitting fifth is Sully Schober at third base.
Behind the plate, number 9, Nate Hammerly.
Number 9, Nate Hammerly does the catching here today, the junior. Kelton Opper hitting seventh over at first base.
Right field, number 5, Bryce Flaker.
Bryce Flaker out in right field, number 5, hitting eighth.
Left field, number 6,
And Braden Flaker out in left field, number 6.
Managed by Wayne Sankey.
Your starting lineups
Alumni
here today.
assistants, Sam Grivach, 21. Jeff Saddlemeyer, 03. John Rafflick, 1983. And Joe Weinberg. Now, please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, national anthem means we're just moments away here from first pitch here again out at Memorial Park here out in Plover. Cardinals in the home white jerseys with the, we'll say, red numerals. For those of you keeping track of the jerseys, and the Penguins with the black with the white numerals as well. So a CW South Conference game here tonight. Eric Reinke gets a start out on the hill tonight for the Cardinals. Eric, a sophomore, does a good majority of the catching, does Eric, but we've seen him pitch some as well, and the sophomore right-hander gets a start here today for Pacelli. As we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, both teams back in action with Pacelli hosting a doubleheader out at Buchholz Park on Saturday, a 12 o'clock first pitch for that first one against the Amherst Falcons. And again, as we mentioned, Tri-County will be hosting Allman Bancroft on Monday. Week number 4 into this regular season of baseball here. A lot of games between now and the end of the regular season, certainly for everyone. So, to be able to get games in, you just never know what Mother Nature will throw your way. However, today looks to be a pretty good baseball, softball, any kind of sporting event type day here in central Wisconsin, with 328 down the lines here, 372 to straightaway center out at Memorial Park. Lights are on already. A little overcast skies here today. Some cumulus and cirrus clouds in the sky.
Leading it off for the Penguins, the first baseman, Gage Beggs.
So Gage Beggs will lead things off here, followed by Seth Hildebrandt and R.J. Meadow. So Beggs, the first baseman here, the lefty, with sophomore Eric Reinke out on the bump here for the Cardinals. Defensively, you have Kel Knopper over at first, Lucas Hammerley at second, Melise Badoon at short, Shelly out at third base, and you've Garski in center field, and both the Flakers manning right and left field. First pitch, we are underway, and that is in there for a called strike. It is 0-1 to Gage Beggs. First pitch about 4:31 here if you're keeping track of the time. Reinke working from the stretch, the 0-1, and a nice pitch, the 0-2 now, quickly up on Gage Beggs. So Nate Hammerly behind the dish here today for the Cardinals. Reinke up 0-2 here, his 0-2 offering, and a swing and a miss, and that is a Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here, the first for Eric Rinke. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the #1 choice. Cleanup and restoration, Serve Pro like it never, ever happened. So that'll bring up the pitcher here in Seth Hildebrandt. Rinke working out of the stretch here. Comes set the pitch. That one hit in the air to third. Schober calls for it, makes the grab out at third. That's a quick one pitch out here. The F5 to retire Hildebrandt for out number 2. And that'll bring up RJ Meadow now. So Rinke off to a very efficient couple of outs here, and that one misses in. It's 1-0 now to Meadow. Jake McCarrick is the on-deck hitter for the Penguins. That one fouled. Count goes to 1-1 now to Meadow. Home Furniture. Fill your home with the best from Home Furniture. They have sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. That's Home Furniture with locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and on Post Road in Plover. The 1-1 offering here from Rinke to Meadow. And that one misses, I believe. It goes 2-1. So the 2-1 pitch here to, and I think they're going to, they're going to say it got a piece of Meadow, so he'll be aboard.
The shortstop, Jake McCarrick.
So Jacob McCarrick comes up here with a 2-out runner aboard with Meadow down at first. Cal Knopper over there playing first. Rinke working from the stretch, comes set. And the pitch is batted down. That's going to be Hammerly ranging over for it. And that will be a single.
The left fielder, Connor.
McCarrick
Brewer on deck.
gets Meadow over to second then with McCarrick down at first. But a nice play there by Hammerly. That ball kind of hit in the hole over there. Hammerly able to range over there, but not in enough time for McCarrick, and that brings up Connor Thurley. And Rinke's going to get a piece of Thurley, so that's going to load things up here now for Tri-County.
The third baseman, number 11, Aiden Brewer.
So that'll bring up Aiden Brewer, the third baseman, hitting here today in the number 6 spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs. You've got Meadow down at third, McCarrick down at second, and Thurley down at first. Rinke working out of the stretch here, the 2 outs, and the pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Brewer. I believe this is Rinke's second appearance on this rather young season. And a good pitch there to go quickly. 0-2 now to Brewer. Of course, you know the Cardinals have a pretty formidable starting rotation of some very capable seniors, but seeing some of the younger guys like Rinke and Bryce Flaker and even Nate Hammerly kind of get a glimpse into the future of what this Cardinals pitching staff may look like in the next couple years at least here. So it's 2-2 now. And a swing and a miss, and that's the third out. And the second Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout for Eric Rinke. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro like it never ever happened.
No errors.
1 hit, 3 left on, no runs, no errors. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 1. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by our friends from Hoff Favor Realty. Back here in one moment.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. Quality, dependable, automotive care experts you can trust in Stevens Point, Plover, and in Weston. At Auto Select, you're good to go.
Half of inning one coming up here. The Oso Brewing Company in Plover offers a large, spacious place for your next gathering or just to watch the big game on a massive projector screen. Enjoy a great variety of pizzas and other hot food along with cold soda. It's all at the Oso Brewing Company in Plover. That is Oso Brewing. We're also brought to you tonight by Infinity Exteriors. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind roofing, siding, windows built to last. Saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors, we guarantee quality that you can trust. That is the Infinity Exteriors. So Pacelli will have Melise Badoon, Jaden Garski, and Lucas Hammerly, the 1-2-3 here today. Tomas Uemura hits in the 4th spot. Sully Schober hitting 5th. Nate Hammerly 6th. Cal Knopper 7th. Bryce Flaker 8th. And Braden Flaker 9th. On the hill here for the Penguins of Tri-County, Seth Hildebrandt. Behind the plate, you've got Dom Friebel. Gage Beggs over at first, RJ Meadow at second, Jake McCarrick at short, and Aiden Brewer at third. And that ball hit in the air. That's playable out in shallow right field, and Badoon will be out on the F9 to retire Melise Badoon. One pitch out there for Hildebrandt. And that'll bring up sophomore Jaden Garski. With one out here, bottom half of inning number 1. Hildebrandt's offering is in there for a called strike. It is 0-1 to Garski. Hildebrandt, the right-hander. Comes set here, the 0-1 offering. That's fouled back into the fence here. It's 0-2 now. So again, as we mentioned in our Auto Select pregame show, Pacelli is 2-1 in this conference. Their only blemish was against Pittsville. That was a extra inning 5-3 loss. Very close game. Pittsville certainly have to think is one of the odds-on favorite to be towards the top of the conference. And Tri-County 2-2 in the CW South Conference. So it's Hildebrandt here, and that ball hit out into right field. And that's going to be played the second out here. A couple of F9s here to get the first couple of outs here. Garski retired on the fly out to right, shallow right field. That'll bring up senior second baseman here in Lucas Hammerly. Left-handed hitting Lucas Hammerly with a couple outs here, and Hildebrandt working from the windup, the pitch. That one's going to be outside. It's 1-0 now to Hammerly. Tomas Uemura over in the on-deck area here for Pacelli. Hildebrandt from the windup, the pitch. The 1-0 is maybe a little high there, so it's 2-0 now to Lucas. All kinds of games on the slate here is Zaleski Sports. I believe Spash home out at Buchholz against Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln, I believe. I believe that's a 5 o'clock start. So that misses down low. It's 3-0 now to Hammerly. So yes, as we mentioned, a couple games on Saturday for the Cardinals. Then they'll be back. Another conference game Monday. That one will be over in Port Edwards. We'll have that game as well on Zaleski Sports. And Hammerly draws the 4-pitch base on ball here. And that'll bring up the senior designated hitting Tomas Uemura. Tomas with a very quick bat. We've seen the quick bat of Tomas. That one is in there, and Hammerly is going to steal second base. He'll be down with the stolen base to get in.
Hammerly with the base theft.
Uemura takes the strike here. It's 0-1 to Tomas. Hammerly a runner in scoring position now, and Hildebrandt works from the stretch here. Hildebrandt's 0-1 offering is hit out into center, and that's going to get past the center fielder. That's going to be extra bases for Uemura. That's going to drive in a run, and Tomas Uemura in there for a stand-up double and an RBI double at that for Tomas.
RBI double for Uemura. Brings up the third baseman, Sully Schobert. Hammerly on there.
So an RBI double for Tomas. Plates Lucas Hammerly. That'll bring up the third baseman here, and sophomore Sully Schobert. Uemura down at second. 2 outs. Hildebrandt works from the stretch. The pitch, that is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 now to Schobert. Junior Nate Hammerly on deck for the Cardinals. Shelley jumps on the board first. That one's going to get outside and away and out of Freeball's reach. That gets Uemura down to third. It'll go 1-1 now to Sully. That one misses out, so it's 2-1 to Sully. Sully just the sophomore. Hildebrandt works from the stretch. The 2-1 is going to be in there for a called strike. It's now even at 2-2 to Sully. Again, Nate Hammerly awaiting over in the on-deck area for the Cardinals. Hildebrandt comes set. The 2-2 pitch here is breaking ball just down low there. Freeball able to stay in front of it. It's 3-2 now to Sully. Outfield, I guess I would say fairly medium depth. That ball is going to be hit out of play and foul. It stays full here to Schobert. Yeah, those first couple of hitters in Badun and Garski flew out to right. Hammerly walked, stole a base, and scored the first run of the game. And that ball is going to get out, and that'll be an RBI for Sully Schobert. So the second hit here for the Cardinals plates the second run of the game. So Uemura scores that second run for the Cardinals. And that'll bring up the catcher here today, and Nate Hammerly with Kelton Opper on deck here. Pacelli with the 2 runs here thus far in this bottom half of inning number 1. Hildebrandt comes set here with the junior Hammerly at the plate. And that one's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Nate. Schobert down at first. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back. It goes quickly 0-2 now to Nate Hammerly. Yeah, so as we mentioned, pitching-wise, we've certainly seen the senior group of Kelton Opper, Lucas Hammerly, Melise Badun, Tomas Uemura. But seeing guys like Reinke here today, and we've seen Bryce Flaker, and that's in there for a called strike. And that is strike 3, and that's the final out here in the bottom half of inning number 1. 1 inning complete here. Pacelli out front 2-0. We'll move to the top half of inning number 2. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from Hoff Favor Realty. Second inning coming up here in just one moment.
Meda Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Meda Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at medacustom.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
4-0 after.
All right. We are back here. Second inning coming up here as our so many games in action here. Pacelli Cardinals, the girls softball team, they are out in front 4-0 over at the WIAA Sports Complex, Spud Field, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, over Tri-County. Early goings in that one. So Tri-County will have Sam Boyd, Chase Schwartzman, and Brendan Brewer coming here. You go 7, 8, 9 here in the top half of inning number 2. Eric Reinke back out for his second inning of work. Gave up the 1 hit, a couple of walks, and a couple of strikeouts in his first inning of work for the Cardinals. Another very formidable, capable arm with Eric Reinke. So he'll work out of the stretch here to Sam Boyd. And that one swung on and missed by Boyd. It's 0-1 now. Outfield playing a little bit, perhaps, I'll say maybe medium to shallow depth at this point. It's 0-2 now to Boyd. The called strike, it's 0-2. Reinke's 0-2 pitch is fouled away, and that's into the glove there of Nate Hammerly. Nice job to hang on to that one for the third Servpro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Servpro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Servpro like it never, ever happened. There's one away now for Chase Schwartzman. His first plate appearance, that one a swing and a miss. Chase shaking his head, didn't want to go after that one, but good mix of pitches by Reinke. It's 0-1 to Schwartzman. The 0-1 pitch, that one's going to be hit foul back towards the Pacelli dugout. So it's 0-2 now to Chase. Culligan Water, they specialize in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. That one's going to get fouled back. It remains 0-2 now to Schwartzman. Brendan Brewer, the designated hitter, hitting today in the 9 spot over on deck for the Penguins here of Tri-County. Reinke with an 0-2 offering from the stretch, the pitch. And that one will miss. It goes to 1-2 now to Chase. Very little wind out here from what it appears anyways. Pretty calm day, a little like as we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, kind of a overcast day. you never know, again, what the weather is going to do to you, especially most parts of April. And Reinke misses high. It's full count now to Chase Schwartzman. Reinke's full count pitch here to Schwartzman, and that one is going to be fouled off. So Schwartzman staying alive here. One away here in the top half of inning number 2. And that one is in there for a called strike. That's the second out here in this inning, and the 4th Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here today for Eric Reinke. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the #1 choice, cleanup, and restoration. So 2 away now for Brendan Brewer. So a couple of Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts here to start things off in the bottom or top half of inning number 2. A swing and a miss from Brewer. It's 0-1. That one just missed. It goes to 1-1 now to Brewer. Reinke comes set here. The 1-1. That one's going to miss inside. It's 2-1 now to Brewer. Reinke appears to have a very distinct routine in between pitches. That one will miss down. It's 3-1. Does a nice job of certainly mixing up his pitches and working near the strike zone each time. The 3-1 pitch here is going to be hit foul. It goes full now to Brewer. 2 outs here with Gage Beggs in the on-deck area here for Tri-County. He represents the top of the order here. Full count offering coming up to Brewer. That one's going to miss, and that will be a base on ball given up to Brendan Brewer. And you go back to the top of the order, and Gage Beggs. Gage is 0 for 1 here today. He struck out back in the first. So Brewer aboard now with 2 outs, and left-handed hitting Gage Beggs. Reinke comes set. The pitch here, that one misses high. It's 1-0. So as we heard not too long ago, I believe the girls, Jelly Girls out front 4-0 still. That ball's going to be hit out of play and foul. Hopefully away from vehicles. It's going to go 1-1 now. So the 1-1 pitch here from Reinke to Beggs. That one misses high. It's 2-1. So Memorial, certainly Pacelli plays some games out here at Memorial. I know Spash has played some games here as well. No doubt Plover Post 543 Legion plays all of their home games. And that one's in there for a called strike. It's 2-2. Magic at Memorial, as they say. Some outstanding concessions. If you've never tried them, I highly recommend that you do. I'm not sure if they're open, but when they are as good as they get. In my humble opinion, of course. It's full count now to Beggs. Sometimes you'll see Craig Sankey out here, maybe more than sometimes. So the second consecutive walk drawn here with 2 outs.
The pitcher, number
And that'll bring up the pitcher here in Seth Hildebrandt. He
Seth Hildebrandt.
flew out here to third base in his last at-bat back in the first. So Seth is 0 for 1 here today. Reinke surrendering just the 1 hit thus far. And that was a single from McCarrick. So a couple runners aboard with 2 outs. Reinke works from the stretch, the pitch, and that ball hit in the air. And Hammerly ranges over, and he'll make the play to retire Hildebrandt for out number 3. So a couple of runners left on base. No hits, no runs. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 2. Pacelli out front here, 2-0. Bottom 2 coming up. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you in part from Hoff Favor Realty. Back in 1 moment.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
Welcome to Bruce Orthodontics, where we provide comprehensive orthodontic care to patients of all ages. We are now accepting new patients, and we accept most insurances.
Orthodontics is much more than just a job to me. It is my passion and my life. What separates us from other orthodontists is constant continuing education for myself and my staff, compassion, and dedication. Here at Bruce Orthodontics, we change lives one smile at a time. I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
All right, we are back out here to one of many game day sponsors here. That's the Tamara River School District. Great things are happening at the Tamara River School District. Join the Falcon family. Are you ready to fly with us? Also brought to you today in part by Ridgetop Exteriors. Just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. So you go 7, 8, 9 here, Opper, Flaker, and Flaker. Sounds like a law firm, perhaps. The firm of Opper, Flaker, and Flaker. The 7, 8, 9, Kelton Opper, Bryce Flaker, and Braden Flaker. So Opper's, and that's in there for a called strike to Opper. It is 0-1 now from Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt out for his second inning of work. Surrendered the 2 hits, the 2 runs, the 1 walk, and the 1 strikeout here early goings. Opper's going to poke that one out of play, foul. And that will bounce across the street here. Going to roll over into the parking area. So it is 0-2 now to Kelton Opper. Hildebrandt works out of the windup here. The 0-2 pitch to Opper. Breaking ball, drop third strike. Freeble down to first. They'll get Opper on the strikeout for the first out.
The right fielder, number 5, Bryce.
And that'll bring up right fielder sophomore Bryce Flaker. Flaker squared. Bryce and Braden. And that's in there for a called strike. It is 0-1. Bryce, certainly we saw him on the gridiron this last fall and had himself a season that garnered some honorable mention all conference accolades. Did Bryce. So it's 1-1 now to Bryce. That one's going to miss. Goes to 2-1 now to Bryce. Hildebrandt, 2-1 here, 1 out, nobody on base for Pacelli, and that one's going to miss. It's going to go hitters count 3-1 now to Bryce Flaker. Pacelli with a couple of hits here thus far, with a double from Tomas Uemura and the single from Sully Schober. A couple runs as a result of those couple of hits. And that's in there, fastball called strike. It's full count now to Bryce. Hildebrandt's full count offering, breaking ball is going to miss, and that's going to get Flaker aboard for the 1 out base on ball, and that's the senior left fielder Braden Flaker coming up. So Badoon at the top of the order in the on-deck circle for the Cardinals. Hildebrandt now working out of the stretch. The pitch is in there for a called strike, and a nice pitch and a head-first slide there for Bryce Flaker to get into second for the stolen base. Braden taking on that one. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is going to miss high and in. It's 1-1 now to Braden. Lights still on here, I suppose. It's certainly to be expected. So it goes to 2-1 now to Braden Flaker. And that one is swing and a miss. A nice pitch there by Hildebrandt to even things up here at 2-2. Roosevelt Elementary School in the backdrop there. And going on that pitch was Flaker, and that one's going to be, and it's going to be just foul. Just missing there, foul was Flaker. That would have been extra bases along with an RBI. But we'll do it again here. So Hildebrandt working with 1 out and a 2-2 count. And that one just missed. Goes full now to Braden. Pretty nice pitch there by Hildebrandt. Full count coming up. Bryce on the move again, and the throw down to third, and Flaker going to get in there, showing that speed as we talked about. His second stolen base in this sequence, and the base on ball. That puts runners at the corner now with 1 out. And Melise Badoon coming up 0 for 1 here today. Flew out to right field back in the first. The pitch here and taken all the way. And Braden Flaker will get down to second on that one. It's 1-0 now to Badoon. And that ball hit. And that's going to drop in there for a base hit and an RBI for Melise Badoon. So Melise now 1 for 2 with the RBI single on that one.
RBI single for Melise brings up the center fielder, Jaden Garski.
So Bryce Flaker scores and Braden Flaker goes to third. That's in there for a called strike. The Badoon there gets down to second. It's 1-1 now to Garski. Garski 0 for 1 here today. He too flew out to right field back in the first. Couple runners in scoring position for Garski. Good stop there by Dom Friebel. And that ball hit out to shallow center field, and that's going to be down for an RBI. So an RBI single for Garski.
Second baseman, number 3, Lucas Hammerly.
So Braden Flaker scores on the RBI single there from Jaden Garski. Badun gets down to third with runners now at the corner with Garski at first. Badun down at third. That's in there for a called strike to Hammerly. It's 0-1. That ball hit pretty sharply. That's going to be extra bases, and that's going to get to the fence. That ball hit on a rope. And that's going to be a 2 RBI triple for Lucas Hammerly. That ball had all the makings of possibly getting out. That thing was hit on the screws, a 2 RBI triple for Hammerly. So that plates Badun and Garski. And that'll bring up Tomas Uemura, who had the RBI double and run scored back in the first. He's got Hammerly down at third with just the 1 out here. Ball misses high. It's 1-0 to Uemura. The Cardinals now with 6 runs. The 5 hits. No errors by either team early goings in this one. Hammerly 90 feet away from in the 7th run here. That one will miss. It's going to be quickly 3-0 now to Uemura. You've got Sully Schober, the on-deck hitter. Seth Hildebrandt working here with 1 out, 3-0. The pitch here to Uemura, and that is going to be in there for a called strike. It's 3-1. So Tomas is going to foul that one away. It's going to go full now. Tomas 1 for 1 here today. And we've certainly seen a very capable bat, we'll say, in Tomas Uemura, hitting in the cleanup spot for the Cardinals. Breaking ball is going to miss, and that will get Uemura down to first on the base on ball to put the runners at corner now. For the third baseman, Sully Schober. Sully is 1 for 1 here today with an RBI single. He's got a couple runners aboard with Hammerly in scoring position now, and still just the 1 out. And that ball hit out into right field and unable to make the play out in right. And Hammerly will score on that. That will be an E9, I believe.
The catcher, number 9, Nate Hammerly.
So the E9 will plate Hammerly for the 7th run here, and Nate Hammerly coming up. Nate struck out in his first at-bat, and that one misses out. It's 1-0 now to Nate. Schober at first, Waimoda down at second. He's off and running, and the throw down is going to be not in time. And Waimoda will swipe third.
That was such a good jump.
Yeah, definitely was. I mean, Waimoda with a nice jump on that one. He was basically off.
He was halfway there before the ball was even released.
And Hammerly swings and misses through that, and it's now 2-1 here to Nate. Just the one out here. That's going to miss upstairs, and it's going to go 3-1 to Nate Hammerly. You've got Kelton Opper on deck, who started this bottom half of inning number 2 off here. Ball hit on the ground at first. The only play will be at 1, but a run will score there, so Waimoda comes across to score the 8th run of the game, and Schober's going to get down to second, and
Number 8, Kelton Hopper.
Nate Hammerly and that's going to bring up Kelton Opper 0 for 1 here today. Struck out in his initial at-bat, and that one's going to miss upstairs. It's 1-0 now to Opper. Pitch here to Opper, hit on the ground over to second. And the 4-3 putout will get Kelton Opper for the 3rd out, but not before Pacelli comes away with 6 runs here in this frame. So they extend the lead now 8-0. We're through 2 innings of play here. We'll move to the 3rd inning. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you today in part from Hoff Favor Realty. 3rd inning coming up here in just a moment.
If you're looking for delicious, you've found it at Rock and Roll Cafe in Stevens Point. This family-oriented 50s-themed cafe is open 7 to 3 daily with a great diverse menu of American and Mexican breakfast and lunch options. Enjoy dine-in or carry-out 7 days a week and always served quickly, fresh, with a smile. For the full menu and more about this local Stevens Point gem on Stanley Street, visit rockandroll.cafe.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
All right, we are back. One of our many game day sponsors today, that's St. Carpet One. St. Carpet One on Post Road in Plover is here to floor you with the best in all of your carpeting and flooring needs. Whether for your home or business, you'll find help with choosing the right look and material to bring your flooring to the next level. That is St. Carpet One. So we move to the top half of inning number 3. RJ Meadow to lead things off, and that one's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Meadow. Meadow was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. Reinke from the stretch here. The pitch is hit in the air. That is going to be just out of the outstretched arms there of Nate Hammerly. A good effort, though, by Nate. Sliding there to try to make that play in foul territory was Nate Hammerly. So it's quickly 0-2 now. Dahl Automotive, the Dahl family of vehicles, has been earning 5-star reviews since 1911. Now we'd like to earn your 5-star review at their new Dahl Honda and Dahl Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealerships in Stevens Point. Learn more online at dahlauto.com. That ball's going to be hit down the line and going to get foul down the first base line. We're also brought to you tonight in part by Cheese Pleasers in Bancroft. Cheese Pleasers in Bancroft is a local hidden gem filled with all the finest cheeses, snack sticks, cheese curds, and cheese trays. for Wisconsin's finest cheese. Stop at Cheese Pleasers right off I-39 in Bancroft. So it's 0-2 now. Nobody out here. Rinky working out of the stretch to Meadow, and that one's going to miss. It's 1-2 now to Meadow. Jacob McCarrick, the on-deck hitter who has the lone hit here for the Penguins in the top half, inning number 3. Eric Reinke, and that one fouled off by Meadow. Means 1-2. Reinke with the 4 Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts. That one's going to miss high and in. It's going to go even at 2-2 now. The Whitetail Properties Real Estate is your premier hunting land, farmland, and recreational land broker. If you're looking to buy or sell, Central Wisconsin agents are Brian and Evan Roosh at whitetailproperties.com. Reinke working from the stretch, nobody out, 1-2, and that one misses upstairs. It's now even at 2-2. Reinke's pitch hit in the air. That's going to get... And a diving play made there by Bryce Flaker, laying out for that one. Wow, what a nice play. He closed on that baseball. That 9.5 times out of 10, that one gets down, but Bryce Flaker showing that athleticism to make the dazzling grab out there in right field. The first out here. And that'll bring up Jacob McCarrick. 1 for 1 here today. Had the single back in the first. That one misses to go 1-0 now to Jacob. So 1 away here. Pacelli with the 8-0 lead here in the top half of inning number 3. And that one's in there for a called strike. It's now 1-1. One pitch coming up. That's going to miss down, and it's 2-1 now. Little Scholars Childcare and Little Scholars Beginnings are 2 beautiful childcare and preschools in Stevens Point, offering early childhood learning for infants through 4K. You'll find great facilities and a comfortable environment to help your child grow. Visit littlescholars.com. That ball lifted out of play, just out of play there. Souvenir for somebody. Express Employment. Express Employment Professionals has relationships with all the local businesses and job openings. Call or stop in at Express Employment to find the right career path for you. 2-2 here to McCarrick. And a swing and a miss. And the second out and the 5th Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here today for Eric Reinke. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro like it never, ever happened. 2 outs now here for left fielder Connor Thurley. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance back in the first. That one's in there for a called strike to Thurley. It's 0-1. And a swing and a miss, a fastball from Reinke to Thurley. It's 0-2 now. Reinke showing that velocity out on the hill. Typically spends a majority of his time as the catcher. And that's in there for a called third strike. It's another Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout and the 3rd out here. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on here. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 3. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by Hoff Favor Realty. Back in 1 moment.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
All right, we are back. One of our many game day sponsors here today, Skis Meat Market. Skis Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with more than 30 flavors of brats along with chicken steaks, beef deli meats, local and seasonal favorites, and more. It's all at Skis Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Today's game is also brought to you in part by Blinds and Designs by Kelly, Premier Auto Body, Dahl Automotive, Stevens Point Brewery, Lee Ayers Jewelers, Point Heating and Cooling, and Portesi Pizza. Nicolay Bank as well, one of our many game day sponsors. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking at its best. They have locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill, or learn more at nicolaybank.com. So Bryce Flaker, who had the ESPN-type top 10 highlight grab out in right field, will lead things off here. So you go 8-9-1 here in the bottom half of inning number 3. R.J. Meadow on the hill now for the Penguins in relief of Seth Hildebrandt. The right-hander, first pitch. Ball hit pretty sharply, and that's going to be out of the reach. We're going to say a double. That would be my thought anyways. That's how we're going to score, it looks like. I suppose one could argue that maybe not, but technically it is a double for Flaker. And Braden Flaker coming up now. Braden walked, stole a base, and scored a run in his last plate appearance. With Bryce down at second. Nobody out here with the leadoff double for Flaker. Meadow from the stretch, the pitch, that one's going to miss high. It's 1-0 to Braden. Meadow now working here with the 1-0 out of the stretch here to Braden. That one is in there for a called strike. It's 1-1 to Braden. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. And that ball going to be just out of play here to go foul. So it's 1-2 now to Braden Flaker. Bottom half of inning number 3 here. Meadow comes set here with the 1-2 pitch to Braden Flaker. And that's going to be just out of the outstretched arms there. And a base hit there for Braden Flaker.
Number 1, the shortstop, Melise Badoon.
So Bryce goes to third, Braden to first, and that'll bring up the top of the order here with Melise Badoon. 1 for 2 here today. Had the RBI single and run scored back in the second. And that one is in there for a called strike to Badoon, 0-1. Runners at the corner, 0-1 here to Badoon, and that one is going to miss a little bit high. It's 1-1. Jaden Garski, the on-deck hitter for the Cardinals. R.J. Meadow working from the stretch. The pitch, he is set here, and pitch on the way is going to miss down low. It's 2-1. Pacelli with the 8 hits here today. That one fouled back by Badoon, goes to even at 2-2. Beg your pardon. 7 hits. Seven hits on the 8 runs here for Cardinals. Never down. That one's going to get back foul. Stevens Point Orthopedics proud to welcome orthopedic spine surgeon Dr. Jason Pataki. Dr. Pataki is ready to serve the central Wisconsin community and now seeing patients. More information regarding spine and back services available at stevenspointortho.com. And Badoon will be aboard. I'm going to score that, I believe, an E5, I believe. Braden Flaker will get down to second. Bases loaded. Nobody out here, and Jaden Garski up. Jaden is 1 for 2 here today. The RBI single and a run scored back in the second and flew out to right field in his first at-bat. It's 0-1 to Garski. So it's 1-1 to Garski. And that one misses down, and it goes to 2-1 now to Jaden. Badoon at first. Braden Flaker at second, and Bryce Flaker down at third. As we mentioned, nobody out here. The 2-1 offering to Garski, a swing and a miss to go even at 2-2 now. Rock and Roll Cafe. Find a great variety of breakfast options at the Rock and Roll Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, Friday fish fry and service with a smile. Open daily for breakfast and lunch only on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. That ball's going to be hit in the air. That's going to be a nice play there made. Ranging over. I think that's Hildebrandt who ranged over to make that play. A lot of ground to cover there for Seth.
Nice play by Hildebrandt.
The F4 to retire Garski for the first out here. Runners remain. And Hammerly, who had that 2 RBI triple, caught the bottom of the fence in his last at-bat. That one's going to miss high. It's 1-0 now to Lucas. He scored a couple of runs as well, has Lucas. 1-0 count here to Lucas, and that one going to be poked foul. It's 1-1. So Lucas, yeah, hit that one on the rope the last, his last at-bat. Just absolutely hit it on the screws. And he's going to hit that one down to second. They'll get the, try for the double play, but they'll get the fielder's choice 4-6. But a run will come across with Bryce Flaker scoring on that one. Braden Flaker moves to third. So a couple outs now for Tomas Uemura. And he'll be hit by a pitch, will Tomas. So Lucas Hammerly down to second. And that'll bring up Sully Schober. RBI single in the first. Reached on the E9 back in the second. Actually 3 runners on base here. Bases are loaded. That one is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Schober. Meadow from the stretch, the pitch. And that's in there for a called strike, too. It's 0-2 now to Schober. May have a few sprinkles coming down, it looks like. That ball hit on the ground, and that's going to get foul. So it remains 0-2. Phelps Dairy, the culture of Wisconsin, is forever tied to life on the farm. Bring the family for a visit to Phelps' Dairy Store in Stevens Point. Cheeses, dairy products, local meats, seasonal decor, and so much more. That's Phelps' Dairy Store. Food, family, and fun. 0-2, 2 outs here. Bases loaded, and Schober, that one's going to be fouled back. It'll remain 0-2 to Schober. Judging by the umbrellas, looks like it's coming down just a little bit harder in terms of the precipitation. And Schober, that's going to be hit right to short. And a good play there made to line out to short. Or the third out here, and a run comes across here on a couple of base hits. 3 left on here. 3 are in the books. We'll move to the 4th inning of play. Pacelli out front 9-0. 4th inning coming up here. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you in part from our friends from Hoff Favor Realty. Back in 1 moment.
At Oso Brewing, we're committed to our community and charity events. We give back locally. We're spot on with tasty food right inside our brewery. Oso pizzas and sandwiches are the best kept secrets in the area. Come and enjoy our new patio atmosphere with friends and family.
It will be something you want to tell your friends about.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
All right, we are back. The Pacelli girls softball victorious here, 14-0 over at the WIAA complex. Just, I don't even know how far. We'll say maybe less than a mile down the road here anyways. Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. For all of your tire and auto service needs, look to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs is a sure thing to get back on the road. That's Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Also brought to you today in part by Next Step Prosthetics, providing prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Ranke back out for his 4th inning of work. Aiden Brewer, Sam Boyd, and Chase Schwartzman, so 6, 7, and 8. It's 0-1 now to Brewer. Top half of inning number 4. Hit sharply over to Schober, but Schober there. And Schober there to retire Brewer for out number 1, and that'll bring up Sam Boyd 0 for 1 here today. Actually, I beg your pardon. It looks like that is not Sam Boyd. We'll Ranke in there for a called strike. Nope, that one's actually in. It's 1-0. Keegan Partridge hitting here today in the number 7 spot for Sam Boyd. So it's 1-1 to Partridge. A swing and a miss. It goes to 1-2 now to Keegan. So Ranke with 1 out here, nobody on, working from the stretch here. The pitch is down low, and it's even at 2-2. So Keegan Partridge first at bat here this afternoon. And a swing and a miss and a serve pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout for Eric Rinke. Can call Jamie Wenzel at serve pro for the number 1 choice in cleanup and restoration serve pro like it never ever happened. So 2 away now for Chase Schwartzman, who is 0 for 1 here today. Struck out looking in his first at-bat back in the second. Rinke will miss upstairs. It's 1-0 now to Schwartzman. So Brewer lined out to third. Partridge struck out, and Chase Schwartzman up here with 2 away here in the top half of inning number 4. Rinke's pitch, and a good one at that. It's a called strike. It's 1-1 now. And a swing and a miss. It's now 1-2 to Schwartzman. Rinke comes set here. The 1-2 offering is going to be, look out. That will keep everybody awake over there. It's 1-2. That one fouled sharply by Schwartzman. It's 1-2. Fleet Farm, no matter what your everyday life looks like, Fleet Farm has you covered at the best prices guaranteed. Auto, pet, bird, farm, snacks. Fleet Farm has everything you need at all the lowest prices. And that's a swing and a miss, and the another serve pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout, the 1-2-3 inning. We will move to the bottom half of inning number 4. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom half of inning number 4 coming up. Pacelli out front here, 9-0. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by Hoff. Favor Realty, back in 1 moment.
The doctor basically said, you're going to be in a wheelchair and walking with a walker. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's my life? That's my life story? I looked around on the internet and I found Shai at Next Step Prosthetics. And I came in and met with him, and I felt so comfortable here, so unfearful. He said, we're going to get you up and walking.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
All right, we are back. Bottom half, inning 4 coming up here. One of our many game day sponsors. That's the Tomorrow River School District. Great things are happening at the Tomorrow River School District with open enrollment now open. Come and join the Falcon family. Are you ready to fly with us? We're also brought to you today in part by Dahl Automotive. Dahl Automotive in Stevens Point has over 1,300 vehicles, but they want more. So they'll offer an extra $500 over book value for your trade-in vehicle. Shop DahlAuto.com for the best selection in the area, or stop in to see them at Dahl Honda just off Stanley Street, or at Dahl Chrysler on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. So Nate Hammerly leads things off here. Grounded into the unassisted ground out in his last at-bat and struck out in his prior at-bat. So 0 for 2 here today for Nate. And it's 1-0 here with R.J. Meadow. That's going to be hit down foul. Saddlemeyer making a nice play over there, the first base coach. Quick snap throw back to Meadow. Kudos to Coach Sads. He still has it, folks. I always say that. He still has it. It's 1-1 now to Nate. Ball hit into the air, shallow. Coming over, calling for it, and the play is made out in shallow center field to retire Nate Hammerly for the first out here. And that'll bring up Kelton Opper, who is 0 for 2 here today. Grounded into the 4-3 ground out and struck out in his prior at-bat. 0 for 2 for Kelton. Bryce Flaker in the on-deck area here for the Cardinals. 1 away. Meadows' pitch is high and up, and should say high and out. It's 1-0.
High and up.
1-0 to Opper. And that ball hit out to center. That one a little deeper. And the play will be made. So a couple of F8s, flyouts to center, 2 away now for right fielder Bryce Flaker. He doubled and scored a run in his last at-bat. He is 1 for 1 here today, walked, doubled and scored a couple of runs with a couple of stolen bases as well. And that one's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 now to Bryce. Meadow working out of the windup here, 2 away. 0-1 here to Flaker. That one is going to... Don't know that it got him. They're kind of looking to see if it did get a piece of Bryce. Looks like it maybe did not, so he'll go to 1-1 now. Pacelli with 7 hits here and 9 runs. Bottom half of inning 4. That ball hit pretty sharp out into right field. Going back and making the play there out in right field, the F9 to retire Bryce Flaker. So a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We are through 4 innings complete here. We'll move to the 5th inning of play. You are listening to and watching high school baseball on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by Hoff Favor Realty. Back in 1 moment.
Shuda Funeral Home in Stevens Point and Plover is your local, family-owned and operated funeral home providing families with compassionate, individualized, and affordable services when you need it most. The loss of a loved one is a difficult fact of life that Shuda Funeral Home will ensure you won't have to face alone. Shuda Funeral Home will guide you through the process from in-person visitations to creating obituaries and tributes. Pre-planning can also be a great way to ease these topics for your family. Learn more at shudafuneral.com or bring your questions and stop in.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
All right, we are back. 5th inning coming up here. New pitcher here for the Cardinals. That is sophomore Sully Schober, the right-hander, in relief here today of Eric Rinke. Rinke, a very solid 4 innings, 1-hit baseball with 8 Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts for the sophomore right-hander. Gives way here to Sullivan Schober. Coming in to play third base is number 15, Owen Hansen. So Schober, we've seen him out on the hill. I believe this may be his 2nd appearance on the mound here for the Cardinals. Kind of the everyday third baseman. But Pacelli with a 9-0 lead. Rinke again pitched a very nice 4 innings of work here for Pacelli. Made a Custom Apparel. Made a Custom Apparel specializes in providing quality decorated apparel, including from corporate casual, team uniforms, and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. Find just what you need to keep you looking great. Learn more at madeacustom.com. So this is Brendan Brewer here to lead things off here in the top half of inning number 5. Brendan walked in his first plate appearance, and that was back in the 2nd. Schober in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 now to Brewer. Schober working from the stretch here. The pitch to Brewer, and that is in there for a called strike. It is 0-2 now to Brewer. Schober set here, the 0-2 to Brewer. And a swing and a miss for the first Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here, and out number 1 for Sully Schober and the Pacelli Cardinals. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the number 1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Top of the order back with Gage Beggs now. Gage 0 for 1 here today, struck out and walked. Schober dealing here from the stretch, the pitch, and that one is a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 to get to Gage Beggs. Schober working from the stretch here, and that's going to be outside. It's 1-1 now to Gage. Seth Hildebrand looks to be the on-deck hitter for the Penguins. Ball hit in the air. That should be playable over at first for Kel Knopper, and he will glove it and get the second out here to retire Gage Beggs on the fly out to first, the F3, if you are scoring at home. 2 away now for Seth Hildebrand. Seth flew out to third and flew out to second in both of his at-bats here, 0 for 2 here today. Schober working here with 2 outs, and that one's going to miss. It's 1-0 now to Hildebrand. Schober, the sophomore right-hander, dealing here with a couple outs, and that one hit on the ground over to Badoon at short. Badoon gloves it, makes a throw over to Opper, and the 6-3 ground out. And Opper does a nice job to scoop that one out for the third out. So a 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Here we move to the bottom half of inning number 5. You're listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from Hoff Favor Realty. Back here in just one moment.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
All right, we are back. Bottom 5 coming up here. One of our many game day sponsors at Shuta Funeral Home. Shuta Funeral Services in Stevens Point and Plover is here to help you with all of your funeral needs with 2 convenient locations and a personal local touch. Let their experienced staff serve your family. Learn more at shootafuneral.com. That's shootafuneral.com. So Braden Flaker will lead things off here. 1 for 1 here. Stole a base, walked, scored a run, and singled here. So 1 for 1 for Braden. And it's 1-0 here, and R.J. Meadow is back out here for his 3rd inning of work for the Penguins. Ball hit on the ground over to second. Hildebrand gloves it. And the 4-3 ground out for out number 1 to retire Braden Flaker. Top of the order coming back up here with Melise Badoon. Melise is 1 for 3 this afternoon at an RBI single back in the second and a run scored as well. That ball hit and play is made there, so the fly out in foul territory. Meadow comes over to make the play there to retire Badoon for the second out here, and Jaden Garski now. Jaden is 1 for 3 here today, had an RBI single, run scored back in the second. Meadow working here, the pitch. That'll miss, it's 1-0 to Garski. Lucas Hammerly, the on-deck hitter for the Cardinals. That one will miss. It's 2-0 now to Garski. And as we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, Pacelli would be back in action on Saturday. Looks to be a pretty nice day on Saturday, 60+ degrees. I'm showing nothing but sun. So that will be certainly one that hopefully lots of you can come out to the ballpark at Buchholz on Saturday. But if not, we will have both of those here on Zaleski Sports. And that is in there for a called strike. It's hitters count 3-1 to Garski. First pitch for that one is a noon start. Bill Held and the Falcons of Amherst coming into Buchholz Park. That's going to be hit out of play. It's going to go full count now to Garski. And Tri-County, as we mentioned earlier, after today's game, they are idle again until Monday. They will be hosting the Eagles of Ullman Bancroft. And that one's going to hit Garski. So Garski is hit by a pitch here. And that'll bring up senior left-handed hitting Lucas Himmerly.
Brings up number 3, Lucas Himmerly.
Lucas 1 for 2. He walked, scored a couple of runs, had the 2 RBI triple, and hit into the fielder's choice 4-6 back in his last at-bat. So 1 for 2 here today. And that one in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Lucas. Meadow comes set here with Garski down at first. Hammerly hits that one, rips that down, and that's going to be extra bases. And that very well could get Garski in here. We'll see if they send him in, and Hammerly is going to get his second RBI triple for Lucas Hammerly.
Hammer's second triple of the day.
And that will be a final by virtue of the 10-run rule. So Pacelli comes away with a 10-0 victory. So they will go through the handshake outline here, and we'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show coming up next. Is a Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll hopefully get a few words here from Coach Sankey and a player of the game. We'll bring it right back here again. You've been listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you by Hoff Favor Realty, Nasonville Dairy post-game show coming up here momentarily.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
All right, looks like we're getting the proverbial thumbs up here. Head coach Wayne Sankey, you guys come out of here. Conference victory, certainly, a 10-0 victory. More importantly, you know, you saw some of the younger guys, Sully Schober and Eric Reinke, get some really quality work on the mound today. Talk about a game like today, because you guys got a doubleheader Saturday again.
Yeah, you know, I like you said, seeing some of those young guys, those sophomores that haven't pitched a lot for us this year. You know, I always say our job is to win this year and prepare the kids to help them get better, and hopefully that, you know, gets more victories down the road in the future years to come. But, you know, give Eric credit. He struggled a little bit there, I think, in the second inning or the first inning, wherever he hit a couple guys. But the last two innings from him were really good. And you know, Sully hasn't pitched yet, but he threw 1, 2, 3 and was pounding the strike zone. So it was good to see. You know, we want to get those guys as much work as possible, but we also have 4 seniors that need to get their work too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of talked about it throughout the broadcast. You know, you have a very senior-heavy pitching staff, but very good to see guys like Reinke and Schober, and I know we've seen Bryce Flaker on the hill. Gives you a little glimpse of what that future looks like. Coach, talk anything more about a game like this? I mean, obviously a conference victory. You guys moved to 3-1 in conference, but then you're back in action, doubleheader Saturday. What can we expect for Saturday with Amherst?
Yeah, you know, I like the way we're playing right now. I think it's our 4th game in a row without an error. Our pitching's been great. I tell the kids, I said that the defense and the pitching usually doesn't sleep. Sometimes the offense does, but you know, we come out ready to play and play our game and not worry about who we're playing against. You know, Saturday the boys will be a little bit more pumped up. We like playing Amherst. It's a good quality opponent, and we'll be ready to go.
Excellent. Well, Coach, I'm going to give you the fist bump. Be good to the people, as you always say. We'll be back out here Saturday, Coach. That's head coach Wayne Sankey here. Guys, come out of here with the very impressive 10-0 conference victory against conference rival here, Tri-County, the Penguins. As Coach mentioned, they'll be back in action on Saturday doubleheader. We're going to get our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player, sophomore Eric Reinke. Eric, first of all, congratulations. You get the win out on the hill. Nice to see you. In my opinion, you pitched very, very well. I know you're just a sophomore. You had 8 strikeouts tonight, and you really battled through those 4 innings. Talk about a game like today.
It was just fun to play, and all the boys went out there. Bryce Flaker made a play somehow. That was one of the best plays I've seen Bryce make in his entire life. Yeah. So this is a fun night for everyone. Yep. Sadly, it's raining, but can't wait for this weekend. It's nice and shiny.
Yes, supposed to be in the 60s, very sunny on Saturday. Yeah, the Falcons of Amherst coming to town. That's always kind of a fun series. I know it's a non-conference game, but still fun to play those guys. Thoughts as you go forward, Eric?
Can't wait for it. Our team is rolling. After that one Assumption loss, we just have been on a roll, and I don't think we're going to be stopping anytime soon.
I like it, Eric. Anything else before we get you into the highlight house here? Okay, well, I don't know if you know the drill. You probably do. I'll count you down. I'll go 3, 2, 1. I'll have you look right up there and say your name and that you are in the house. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
I'm Eric Reinke. I'm in the house.
That is Eric Reinke. That is the sophomore right-hander who we talked about. We usually see him as their everyday catcher, but he goes out today, gets the victory out on the hill, has the 8 Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts. You know, as he mentioned, Bryce Flaker with that dynamic play out in right field, kind of that highlight top 10 type play that you saw Bryce make. And you really need the defense to kind of get behind you, and they did just that. A conference victory, take them however you can get them. Pacelli will be back in action here Saturday. That'll be out at Buchholz Park. That is a 12 o'clock start, a doubleheader. Coach Bill Held and the Falcons come to town. That's always kind of a fun series to be a part of, even though it's a non-conference game. Certainly some very good baseball. Tri-County, as we mentioned, they'll be back in action not till Monday. They'll have a day with Almond Bancroft. But again, a final out here from Memorial Park. 10-0 is our score here. If you can, try to get out to the ballpark at Buchholz on Saturday, noon start, but certainly if you can't, we'll have both of those games on Zaleski Sports. Brandon Berencott, Braden Sutter keeping me in line as always. You've been listening to and watching high school baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from Hoff Favor Realty. Have yourselves a very good rest of your Thursday night, everyone.